In the last class, we have started the LOD, level of detail expressions, and we have seen that cohort analysis also. So from this, probably you would have understand what is level of details. So level of details basically, so whenever you slice, means whenever you narrow down, not slice, whenever you narrow down into the data. So more you are getting into the detail, your aggregation will come down. So there are, so which I told you that, so which is, so I already shared you that document also. Right. So more your granular aggregation, your less your granularity. That is the funda of your level of detail. How detailed you are getting into the chart, into your data for a display, visualization of display. So this is the thing. So now for a data, if it is a year wise, so I can go next level, year wise I see. So what is the higher level of year? What is the sale or profit or quantity or commissions, incentives? So you are displaying. So when you get down next level, quarter, so you are getting one level below and another one level below, month, another one level below, week wise. So now there you stop. Or the least level is your date, exact date. When you go for a location, the least level is the postal code. So now, so that is your detail for that particular field. And the aggregation. So whether sum of sales or the count distinct of some values, order ID or something. So the higher level country, the count, the aggregation will be different. And when you drill down each and every level, the aggregation will be more. So in terms of number of transactions, which I told you yesterday. And the exclude and include, the exclude you will borrow and include you will save. So that is that is what I told. So now for example, yesterday we have seen for the fixed one. So suppose whether it is there in your display or not. The LOD's condition is, so the dimension whichever you are using, if that is not there in the display also, that will react. So that is what the mean. So yesterday we showed the fixed sale, the cohort analysis, and we have seen the include for the coffee chain, right? The sales versus budget, means the actual versus budget profit we have seen. So the state wise we are displaying, but the product which is not there, give me a minute. sorry. So here, so yesterday we have seen this include and fixed. So the fixed and include wherever it may be. So the dimensions whichever used in your LODs. So that is not mandated to be part of there in your any of your shells. So that is the advantage of LOD also. So otherwise, unless otherwise if your dimension is not there, you cannot slice to that level of your details. So now yesterday we have seen the state wise, but the state wise by product, but product is not there in the display. But I use the product in the LOD. So number of products above the target and number of percentage of products above the target which we could able to display. We could able to identify. Though my product is not there in the display, still I could able to make that. Right. So now today we will see a exclude. So exclude, suppose I have different subcategories, I have 17 subcategories. The 17 subcategories values are there, sales values. Suppose one particular subcategory which I select, so only that value should be shown or in terms. Suppose particular values are subcategory selected, that subcategory's value will be deducted from the other subcategory's values. Suppose the subcategory which I am selecting which is of 50,000, so the other subcategory is 125,000, then this 125,000 minus of 50,000, it would be 75,000. If another subcategory which is only 40,000 and the subcategory which is selected is of 50,000, then it will display minus 10,000 because that is only 40. 40 minus of 50 will be your minus 10. So that is your excluded. Exclude your value from the selected. So how to do that? So for example, so I say, so if I create, so yeah, calculated field. So first I will take a parameter. So this one, create parameter, and I take a string. So this is another option where I go to this list and add from field subcategory. So here all the 17 value. Earlier what we used is we were inserting the value in case of list, sales, profit, dimensions. So you use the dimensions also as a parameter, right? Said yesterday, and you were using the measures also. Suppose sales wise or profit wise or quantity wise. So you were using. So suppose so this is the columns, either it is a dimension column or it is a field measures. So but one particular dimension field I take, whatever the values are there, that should be there. That you don't want to hard code. Suppose if it is 3, 4, then you can do that. Suppose 17 means you don't want to sit and do accessories, labels, machines, paper, all those things you don't want to. So in this scenario, add from field. You select which field it is, that field values will be automatically dispopulated. Now 17 values, 17 members of your subcategory is populated here. What is this? This is string. So now I give this as subcategory, because here the subcategory is sub hyphen category. I give this subcategory. So click on this. So parameter shelves subcategory is there. So now I right click on this, show parameter. So when I select accessories, binders, bookcases, chairs, copiers, envelopes, so that sales value should be displayed. Rest all should be 0. How to do that? So you create a calculated field. Selected sales. I name this as. So if my subcategory, so this equal to, so my category. So then sales, else 0, n. So I do this. This is your selected sales. So if my subcategory, my field is equal to whatever the field you are selecting from the parameter, then only that sales, else 0, apply. So now when I bring this subcategory here, it shows the values. Now when I bring this selected sales here, it will show only the envelope. So why? Because this envelope, suppose if I put it in the label, it shows only that value. Why? Because rest all are 0. Because the envelope is only selected here. So now when I go to the bookcases, only bookcases value is shown. When I go to the phones, then phones value is shown. Right? So this is how we can distinguish. So now this is the first one. Now this I wanted to use it in the exclude. It means what? Whatever the subcategory is selected, that sale should be excluded from my original sale. So I create a LOD. So LOD selected sales by subcategory. So I make this. So in this, I go here and exclude. Exclude. So what is this? Subcategory. So this dimension. And go here, sum of. What is this? Sum of this selected sales. So I do this. Fine. Apply. So whatever the values you are selecting, that would be excluded. So that is there saved as selected sales by subcategory. Suppose the same thing, I duplicate as crossed out. Now take this out, selected sales by subcategory. So this will show everything, because this sale I am going to exclude. So from the each and every subcategories. So in one more thing, so the clear definition to distinguish, I'll show you one material I have. Yes. See how it works. So basically, so this is the one which I explained, the details, less aggregation and the granularity, etc. Right? In fixed LOD, fixed level of detail expression, compute a value using the specified dimension without reference to the dimension in the view. This you know. Whether I use that particular dimension in the visualization in any of my shelves or the marks card or not, it will display that level. Include level of detail expression, compute values using the specific in addition to whatever the dimensions are there in the view. In addition, right? So I placed state. In addition to that, I wanted to go with the product. So that's what we display. Exclude level of detail, declare dimension to omit from the view. So now whatever the subcategories values I am using, that I am going to omit from the view. So this is a primary difference. And here include level of detail can be useful when you want to calculate at a fine level of detail in the database and then re-aggregate and show at a cursor level in detail. The fields based on include level of detail expression will change as you add or remove from the dimensions. Exclude level of detail are useful for percentage of total or difference from overall average scenarios. They are comparable to such features as totals and reference lines. An exclude level of detail expression cannot be used in row level expressions when there are no dimensions to omit, but can be used to modify either a view level calculations or anything in between. That is, you can use an exclude calculation to remove dimension from other level of detail expression. So you cannot use it as a row level dimensions. So this is there. So for all the accessories, all the subcategory values, numbers, it shows that excluded sales value. So now I wanted to detect. So what I will do, so the different sales, different or excluded sales. So just you go here, sales, sum of sales minus, you will be taking this selected sales by category. Sum of selected sales by category. So apply. So now here I gave sales and I go excluded sales So this is the one. So now in terms of subcategory. So when I go for the subcategory, so you see here the original sales is here. So now this is phones. You see the phone is 0. The selected one is 0 because it is deducted from its sale. The sale is 330. The sale of that excluded sale is also 330 because this is 4. So 330 minus of 330 is your 0. And this, if it is lesser than your selected subcategory sale, then it is a minus. If it is greater than, because here the maximum value is 330. So that is the one as a category you have selected. So everything will be minus. So suppose I go select the fasteners. So this is the least one. So that is your 3024. Rest everyone will be the positive because this is 167 and this is 164 and 107 and 104, 27, 24. So minus 3024. So it would be deducted from your original sale. So this is your exclude options. So wherever you require, you can use fixed, exclude and include. So the fixed sale also can be used in your order of operations. So that we'll see now. So the next level. So this comes to an end of your data views. So the data views would be fully like your hierarchy. We have seen combined fields, Tableau sets, Tableau groups and filters, extracts and your parameters and your groups and bins and calculated fields and your table calculation, quick table calculations and your LOD. Right? So now the order of operations. So the order of operations, you know that there is the, you can see I already showed. So this is the order. The extract filter will be the first and dimension data source filter and context filter and then sets, top end filters and in the level of detail also fixed will be the first and then only include and exclude. Then your dimension filters, data blending and measure filters, totals, forecast and table calculations and trend lines and reference rates. We will see a couple of examples for this order of operations. Okay, so then you will understand how this order of operation impacts your display. I take city. So city, you have plenty of cities you have, right? And I have a customer name. Fine. So now I take this sales. So city wise customer name is there. So now the city, let me filter this. I go only for the Newark, none, and because there we have more customers, that's why I am taking Newark. So Newark City. So here it is shown the sales descending. So this is the one. So Tom Ashbrook, Peter Fuller, Seth Vernon, Tom Buckner, and Todd Sumrall, and Keith Dawkins, and Caroline Jumper. So it is like this. So how many 355 customers are there in the New York City? So that's why we select that. So this is a order. So now what I did, I displayed city, I displayed customers and the sales. In addition, I applied a filter. What is this filter? This is a dimension filter. So you can see here, it is here. This is a filter. Now I add this customer. So in this, so I go for a top. So in this, I go for a top. See, this dimension filters is already there, right? This is already there. And in addition, I go for a top by top 10 by sum of sales. So now you see here, Tom Ashbrook, Peter Fuller, Seth Vernon, Tom Buckner and Todd Sumrall. This is the first 5. So I go for top 10. So then and apply. You see here it is changed. Tom Ashbrook, Seth Vernon and Todd Sumrall. What happened to the other one? It's not there. Because now it's confused. So you are applying a dimension filter and then again you go for a dimension filter. So in that, so already, so you take a dimension filter that is a city. So in that city, There are who are all the customers, that was only displayed. Now you take a city customer again, so and you apply a top 10 filters. So that customer may not be of the New York City. It is not required. Right? So now it got confused and your display is totally changed. So now you need your city New York should take precedence. You show top 10, I am not denying. But here your city New York should take the precedence. Because this is now jumbled between this dimension and the top end filters. So first this city filter should be shown, means in my New York, which is the top 10. I want to show that. So what I will do? So I will make this New York City. So how to get rid of this? Because dimension filter is, the top end filter is precedence. So it is applying on that. So how to make my city filter should be taken precedence. So here in the order of operation I cannot move the dimension above, right? Because it is the order of operation given by the Tableau operations. Now I can make one thing. My city filter, I can make it as a context. So what I do, and right click on this, make this as context. So now this takes precedence. Now you see, so it is showing in the same order. Now the next level, the top 10. So it shows that top 10. And if you go here, edit filter, so you want a top 20, it will show 20. Right? In the same order it will show 20. So first it has to apply your city filter and then comes to the top end filter. But as per the order of operation, your top end is taking the precedence than your dimension. That's why it got confused. So in order to make my city apply, first I need to make the city filter as a context. Right? So this is the order of operations, one meaningful example. Now the next one. So I go. So suppose I go based on the subcategory and my sales. It's there. So distinguish. So this sales I display based on the percent of total. So this is your 14.37, 14.30, and so you have 9.74, 9.01. So it is like this. My 17 subcategories out of my 100 percentage means for 2.297 sales million. So this may be 330,000. So what is the percentage? 14.37. What is the percentage? 14.3. So in this way it goes. Looks fine, no problem. So now I take this subcategory and put it in the filters and I apply this as a show filter. So now in this, suppose I uncheck furnishing. So and I uncheck labels. Now you see this, the percentage is changing. So what is happening here? Earlier my 17 subcategories was there, my total sale was 2.297. If I exclude a couple of subcategories, what it does, that particular sales also it removed. Suppose 2.297, suppose your furnishing sale is 100,000, it removed that. The total sale will become now 2.197. And in that 330, how much percentage? So accordingly it increases. Some requirement is there, you can leave as such. So sometimes the client say, no, 14.37 and 14.2 means always it is there selected, right? You have to compare with your total sales, not with the filtered subcategory sales. You should not compare. I should compare always with this. Only the filter should be used for whether you want to display or not display. It should not be part of your calculation. So how to do this? This is a default behavior. I cannot do anything because this is your again a dimension filter. So in order to overcome this, what to do? So extract filter, anything I can do in extract? No. Anything I can do, extract filter is for your extract you are filtering something, you are applying. So that will not suffice my need. And data source filter or context filter also will not suffice my need. And top end filter, what is it? I am not going to top 10 or 5, I am not doing. There is a fixed level of detail. Whether this can help me? So what you wanted? So your total sale to be fixed, means that is 2.297. If you filter or don't filter, your percentage of total should be of your total sale, not your filtered total. Total filtered sale I don't want. So that total sale I can keep it in a fixed LOD. I can do that. So how to do that? So I create another measure. I create another measure named fixed sales. Fixed sales, and I say this is not only the sale value, right? This is a percent of total. So percentage of total means what? It is your individual sale, your sum of sale divided by your total sale. If suppose I give it as total sum of sale, so that is your percentage of total. So that will give you the same as such as which is shown above. So now this total sum of sale will not solve my purpose, right? So now what to do? I need to go for a fixed. So I go here, take this fixed, and I am not using dimension because any dimension this measure should work. So I keep that open and sum of sales. So this is my one, and at this total I take it, right? So my individual sale of my subcategory, and this is my total sale fixed based on the subcategory. So I apply this. So now the fixed sales I bring it here, and this is in the percentage, right? I go format and display that as percentage of total, percentage, two decimals, apply. So 14.37. So now if I select everything, this is 14.37, this is 14.37, 14.3, 14.3. When I go and check some of this, suppose for example envelopes. So this envelopes and fasteners and labels and binders. So you see this is changing, normal one is changing, but you see this remains the same. So whatever, this is 1.18 art. So if you see here 1.18 is there and 1.18 is there. Suppose if I remove this fonts, so automatically this 1.18 becomes 1.38, but here it is still 1.18. So this is how I can use my order of operations based on the means the executions, how my interpreter works. Based on this order of operations I can understand. So if you apply the right techniques in the right place, you can override that and you can give the value. So this and all you will find it in a bug. So you will not be immediately realizing. So just they said percentage of total, you put the subcategory, you give this as a display, and you place in the dashboard, you are given. You didn't notice that small difference. So when you, so when the in the UAT testing, they will catch. So then how to override? Oh my God, this is, if I am unchecking, it is not doing. How to override this? Unless otherwise, if you doesn't know this order of operation, in which order, you will never think of, I can use a fixed LOD here for the total, so that my total is always fixed. It will not change based on my filter. So you can do that. These are all the two examples for your order of operations. Okay. And also my fixed LOD, how I am using in the order of operation. This is also another example. Okay. So this comes to an end of your data view. Now we are stepping into the charts, different charts. So not only your analysis, the data views is important, provided the display of your charts should be appealing, and you should not pick one. In my dashboard I can place three charts. Okay, I select one bar chart, one line chart, one pie chart, and one tree map. I put some colors. So it is not the way of the presentation. My dashboard should speak to me. My data I should understand. So what is the data? So in this analysis, so that is the difference between your presentation and the visualization. I prepare a PDF, I prepare a PPT, and you are all the audience. Unless otherwise I walk through my presentation, the presenter should be there. But the visualization, there is no presenter. In front of you there is a dashboard. My company data was there behind it, and I am shown with an analysis. With that analysis, based on my level, what I can do, improvements or apply strategies in the improvising of my business. So suppose I am a yard, my inventory clerk. So, and I am seeing my dashboard. So I say the fast moving, slow moving and the non-moving stocks are there. So it says my fast moving is this. So first it shows a KPI for me. I am a inventory, I am a production planning controller or the inventory clerk. So for me a dashboard is shown. So I am an inventory clerk. So what it is, the first KPI, the fast moving, slow moving, non-moving. So in that the fast moving is 45%, slow moving is some 40%, and the non-moving is 15%. You are close to the year end. So I have to clear my stocks. So otherwise last quarter there will be a meeting from GM and he will fire me. So he will ask why this much non-moving, why, if you know that this is a non-moving, why you are keeping unnecessarily in the yard. This is again my cost. It's lagging there. There is no transaction for that. So why you are keeping that in the stock? What you are going to do? So you will ask again him. So I know. Do you know or not? Yes, I know, because in the dashboard it shows 15% is my non-moving. So now I provide a KPI. So 45% is a fast moving, 40% is a slow moving, and 15% is a non-moving. So not only I am giving the statistics, and next level I go provide you the detail in my dashboard, because my placement of the chart should be in that way. Because earlier, before BA reports, in the any reporting for an application, you have several reports. If you want to see sales orders, you go, one report will be the sales order summary. Go this date to this date, click retrieve. It will show all the sales orders. You take one printout. And the product wise, the summary. Another one report is there. Go there, product wise, between this date to this date, take an report. So then you take a highlighter. So then you mark it. Normally in 2000s, I saw my general manager and my finance manager used to take lot of MIS, and not sufficient. We have to keep a yellow marker there. So they will mark. So high sales order. So he knows, because GM visits multiple locations. So then he interacts with the multiple area managers. So before getting into the system, you know the pre-sales activities, because the manager from the different area, he informed GM, sir, we are going to get a high sales order. I am in the negotiation. If I require you, I will be letting you know. If I could able to convince the customers and get the orders, this would be a great blow for us. So the complete year we have good work for the production people. They can you can keep the machines engaged all through the year. It's a million job order. Before getting that into the system, GM knows that, because he visits plants, he interacts with the sales managers. So, and you know, Rohit, are you entering today? Yes sir, I am placing in order. So yesterday evening, you know, but I am the IT, I don't know. Unless it is there, the data in my database table, then only I know. So the order information screen is given to Rohit. He is entering. So once he enters, the order saves. When I retrieve, then only I know. But GM knows before what all the things happen. He knows this day he is entering. The next day morning he visits office, Sashi, give me a report. Then he searches in that sales order, because I don't know the significance, what he is searching. He asks me a report, Sashi, you take a report and give it to me, sales order and the product price. So I take that. Go highlight that and says, oh, okay. Suppose if it is a multiple currency, suppose if it is a Kuwait order, so he mentioned in different currency. Then he says, Sashi, some problem is there. Can you check this? So because this is a real time which happened in my scenario, because it's a Kuwaiti dinar, Kuwaiti real, sorry. But the base currency is a ring, this one, dirhams, means the company is in Dubai, but they are having different areas. So Sharjah, Dubai, Al Ain, and Abu Dhabi, and outside we have Doha and Kuwait. Rohit representing Kuwait area sales manager, and he is booking an order. So definitely the order will be given to the customers, means he will book in his local currency, right? Suppose 1 lakh riyals. So 1 lakh riyal is equal to the dirhams. It has to convert here when I am seeing in the system for me here. But the client display, it will be when you hand over the order to the client, it will be in the Kuwaiti dinar. But here riyals, it is here in the dirhams. So it has to convert, but it is not converting. It is showing as a 1 lakh dirhams. But what GM was expecting, 1 riyal is equal to, I think, 14 or 15 dirhams, something like that. 14 or 15 or something like that. So he was expecting somewhere around 15 or 16 lakhs dirhams, but he is seeing 1 lakh. Then he called me, so some problem is here. Then I was breaking my head. So what is the problem? Then we saw that particular customer who they booked, so he is not a overseas customer. So the sales coordinator who created the profile for the customer, so if he is creating as a local, then base currency will be, home currency will be taken, right? If he says that as a foreign customer, then that particular customer, which country he has to specify, then that country's currency will be there highlighted. Then automatically the sales order books, it stores in the database as a home currency, it will convert and store. So that was a mistake by the sales coordinator. He selected that particular sales rep, sorry, the customer as a local customer. So that was the problem. Then we modified that, and accordingly we changed that and reran the report and give it to me. So why I am saying this? So what is the product it was booked and what is the sales order value? He takes two reports and he highlights in that and see. Now in the business intelligence, so it is not required. So level of target level of audience, what is the report you wanted to display? He himself can see that. So the area code wise he can change, and the top 10 or top 5 customers he can do a change by the value or by the quantity, whatever it may be you wanted to do, he can do it. So the first level you give the KPI, and the next level that related analysis you give. So the 15%, he should not come and ask you. The presentation, you can ask your doubts. Visualization, he should not ask. Your dashboard, next what he will think, you should think that. You should be in their shoes and you should think them. As an inventory clerk, what information I can give him handy. So 15% means I will give what is the product wise. That 15%, the next chart which I am going to place in the same dashboard should be the product wise, the quantity, right? And it is, if it is a product wise, next that product is of which category, subcategory, I say that. Next level, I go product wise also. So now, for example, for him, he may target the top one, and if he negates that, if he clears, so suppose one particular product which is occupying the most space, if he clears that, so automatically my percentage from 15 will drastically come down. So he will target that, right? So that information I have to give. Now when coming to the sales coordinator, the same data. So that's why the target audience, the perception varies. Our analysis, our dashboard, you are presenting the chart should be appealing from the color perspective, and the chart which you are selecting, that should be meaningful, right? The period wise projections you are making, don't put a bar chart there. See, that particular non-moving items, so or when that particular slow moving items or the fast moving items, so in the which weeks the projection, months the projections, so which month or which week the rate is high, or I want to understand this non-moving item when it was bought and how long it is lagging, right? 128, or sorry, 180 or 270 or 360, so that which date this was bought and where it is lagging, from when it is lagging. So that scenario I wanted to see. Suppose this particular, today we are in March, this was bought sometime last August, and after that there is no movement on that. So initially maybe there was a requirement from one customer, I bought it. So that customer required only 10. So I bought it 100 and kept it there. So after that there is no movement at all for last 7 months. So, so then I can understand, see that, okay, there is no movement after this 7 months. So then who is the customer who bought that? I can go there. So customer, who is that customer? So maybe I can approach the same customer. Sir, you want this item? I think we understood that 7 months back you bought that. Are you in a requirement? So if he says no, if he says yes, you place one more order and send him. If he says no, what is the field of business he is having? So similar related customers, someone are there in the market nearby. So whether they may be requiring that or whether they are buying from someone else. So let me introduce, sends my sales rep to that particular customer. And my rate and his rate is okay, you can negotiate with the price and sell that. These are all the strategies on seeing the data. Unless otherwise, if I didn't see the data analysis, I cannot come up with some inferences. So this is the most important thing. So your placements of the charts should be appealing, meaningful, and it should provide the inferences to the customer. That's what I am trying to say. So just don't put one bar chart, one line chart, one pie chart, and one heat map. So 4 different charts I place. It shows 4 different colors, and I put everything. Okay, display. Don't go with that. Right? Some initially they may do that, but it is not the case. Right? Your chart always should provide some meaningful inferences because it's a business discovery tool. From that, if I negate my 15% of non-moving items, it is a cost of around 7 to 8% increased my profit. It was lagging there. I can reinvest that 7 to 80% in some other quantity, right? So my GM perception will be that. My MD's perception will be that, right? So now target on the non-moving item, means slow-moving items. Once you clear that, come to the slow-moving item. Right. So this is the scenarios we need to do. Now from here, you can see there are 24 types of charts there. Basically, whenever you are placing your charts, first you need to understand the placements of the particular fields in the row, column, shelves or the marks. That is most important. Why I say it is most important? Suppose for example, I take subcategory. I take sales. Right? I take sales. Now you see here the tree map. If I click on this, so you see I selected subcategory, control I selected sales, one dimension and one measure, and you can see these many charts handy available. These many charts you can design, develop with the selections you have, and some of the charts which is not there because of this selection. This is not there because the line chart and all. If you select a date column, it will be showing. The area chart also that will come that later. So this packed tree map is there. So you see the placement. There is nothing in the row column cells. But I selected subcategory. Where is it? It is there in my label. So only the labels I display. Okay. And the sum of sales again in the color, no problem because it shows the positive one, means a maximum and the minimum value. It is a profit. It's a sales. So there is no negative value. So it shows the minimum and the maximum value of the sales. I want to change the colors, you can change that. Fine. And then the sum of sales. So this, the greater sale will be in the larger size, or you can increase, decrease the size. Here I am not doing. Fine. So now this is automatic, right? So this one, I change it to circle. Then this become packed bubbles. You see here, the packed bubbles, when I go subcategory and sales and click on this subsales, so the packed bubbles are displayed. Here and there is same. Here and there is same. What is the only difference? Here I place subcategory in the color. Here I place sales in the color. No problem. You can place this subcategory in the color. So this becomes, sorry, subcategory in the color. So you can see this. So only one marks I change from the shape square. So this was by default if I make it to square, it is a tree map. The same square, if I make it to the circle, this is a pattern bubble. So if you know the placements, the charts are very easy for you. Means the behavior of the charts. So one chart to the another chart. Now suppose they say, Sana, you have to create a word cloud. So you might be, while going traveling, you may see some boards there. Some words are displayed. This is one of the fast developing chart. The word clouds and this packed bubbles. Because how long we will go with the tradition? Bar chart, line chart, pie chart. How long? So come with some new charts. So this, if I descend, you see the larger one will be in the center and the smaller one will be. How good this is. And somewhere I have seen the word clouds. You imagine, instead of this, I have a larger word, means a font, means a larger font, one particular subcategory, means the phone whose sale is larger. So that font of that phone will be larger, and the font of the table will be smaller. So such kind of charts also there. But when I search here, no, there is no word clouds here. How to make this word cloud? How to make this workflow? Now you see, I duplicate. I don't do anything. Just you take it to the text. It becomes word cloud. Just I change it to the text. It becomes word cloud. So the placement of my value means my fields is same. I am not at all changing. In these three charts, you see, this is packed bubbles, this is word clouds, and this is tree map. So the placement I didn't disturb. It is based on my subcategory and the sales. That's all. When I change the marks card to square, it's a tree map. When I change the marks card to the text, it is a workflow. When I change the mark card to the circle, this is a pattern bubble. So that's why when you practice, so please observe the placements of the fields where it is placed in row shelves, column shelves, or in the marks card, and how the marks card they are changing, how it is placing. This suppose tomorrow when requirement comes, you will be in a position to do that, right? We already have seen this waterfall chart, and we have seen already the this what is that? This Pareto analysis, and we have seen already this bump chart. So these are all one related with the quick table calculations and the applying on the positions, addressing, partitioning, and the scope and directions. So now the placements of the field. So just chart means not like this. Drag this, and drag this, and I display a chart. It is not the case, right? So this is bar. The same I wanted to make it as a line, so it is not there. How to do? Because the line is having a meaning. So now I change this. So this will not look nice. So now the subcategory, accessories, and art, and this, what is the inferences you are going to get? So comparing to the accessories, my art is less and appliance is less. So accessories to art, it is downtrending, and from here, no, this is not the display, right? The uptrending and downtrending should go with the period, right? Whenever instead of this subcategory, I have my date, my period, especially not the date, my period. So comparing my January, whether my February is trailing or ahead, it was trailing. Then after that there is a steep increase, and again it come down, again it come down, and increase, come down, increase. So why this fluctuation in this year? So that we know. So the trend, always you go with the period. So suppose the two matches are played, India, Australia. So 0 to 50 overs. So first innings played. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So the projection 300 runs, 310 runs scored by the first innings. So 0 to 10 might be some 50, and 10 to 20 some may be another 65, so it went to 150. So that way the trend goes. Now the second innings plays. So when it is of 30 overs, on seeing the plotting, you can understand this guy is trailing behind or this guy is ahead, whether he will win or don't win. In that 20 overs, anything can happen. That is a different based on my trend. So if it is an uptrend, so now they are close, or they are ahead, or they are behind. So how much behind? Then they say apply a prediction. They say if they go in this same rate, they will take this run. If they go with this 6 run rate for this next 20 overs, they will reach this. If they go with an additional 8 run rate, so they will. This is for the first innings when they are playing. So when they are 40 overs, then they are 195. They say that it is 4.975. So if in the same trend they go, they will reach around 235 in 50 overs. If suppose in the next 10 overs, if they go for 60 runs, so they will be the 6 run rate, they will be reaching this. 8 runs, they will be reaching this. That is a prediction. But when you go to the average rate, what is this now? And the required run rate, if you keep going down, the required run rate will increase. That is a prediction. Means that is applying the calculation. The 6 per over, 8 per over, that is the prediction you apply. Alright? So that you are applying with the parameters. Go 6. So then that chart will go, change. Go 8. The sales forecast we have seen, right? The trend will change. So it will reach there. So you have to map. So the periods you need to take a line chart. Now in this period, when I go a area, then this becomes area chart. You see here, this is your area. So this is your line, and when you have an area below of your line, then this is a area chart. I want to slice this. So take this segment and put it in the color. So I have 3 segments. So these segments I can slice. So we'll stop here. I have another class. So